excited to be filming this. I love monthly reset videos. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to another monthly money reset. I cannot believe that I just finished my last full month living in Hawaii and it's almost time to head back to the mainland. If I'm being honest, these past couple weeks I felt a little bit discombobulated just trying to fit in all my final Hawaii experiences, and that has led to some big purchases that we will absolutely get into more later. But first things first, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kayla, I'm 26. Whew, I'm still getting used to that number. My birthday was just a couple of weeks ago and 26 is just not rolling off the tongue the way that 25 was. But anyways, I am currently working as a travel physical therapist and I have 1 week left on my Hawaii contract. I post lots of lifestyle content that I try my best to focus around how I live an intentional life and how I do my best to not just like go through the motions of life, because we only get one of these and I'm trying to make the most of mine. And part of living my best life is staying on top of my finances. So I also post a lot of personal finance content. I've said it before and I'll say it again. My goal with these monthly reset videos is really just to create a casual and relatable space where we can talk about money, because I feel like sharing finances and conversations around that can just become so unnecessarily awkward and guarded. And I want these videos to be a space where that stigma melts away and two friends can just sit down and talk about their money. That being said, now that I have introduced myself, let's get into my budget. Let's dig into September. All right, so welcome back to my budget template. 3 months in a row is the record for me keeping this exact same template. I just really have fallen in love with it. It's perfect for fall too, you know, like because it's all brown, so it's giving fall. It's just another excuse to keep it brown. I love the brown. I don't know, something about neutrals. They do it for me. Anyways, just with like a quick glance at my budget, we see a lot of green, a lot of red bars, and a good amount of yellow. Like it's a hefty mix of the two, which just means that I hit my goal on some things, I was slightly under my goal on some things, and I overspent in some categories. So it was like a middle of the pack month, you know, not the worst, not the best. Let's get into it. The first thing I do when I look at my budget is I start at this overview tab always. It gives me a nice snapshot of like, did I go over in categories or not? And it separates it out by income, savings, expenses, subs, and bills. And then it also shows me my starting balance. I always have too much. Like you can see I started September with $21.58 and I only needed $1,700. But there's something about like whatever goal I create for myself, I end up not wanting to touch that goal with a 10-foot pole. And then I come in with way more than I need. It's not a huge deal, but it's something that like I have made a goal for myself to try to get closer to the actual number that I want to start with. In October, that will not be an issue with, because I did not end this month, September, with very much money at all. So I'll show you guys all of that. But anyways, going down to income, as far as what I made this month, I made a little bit more than what I budgeted to make. So final number of 6,600 and I budgeted for 6,000. I budgeted as if I were only gonna have 36-hour weeks, but usually I can get a little bit more than that. Like I can get closer to 40 hours. But other than travel PT, the only income I got this month was like a little bit of money from credit cards. That is not a great representation of how much rewards money I could get. I have like $50 in rewards money on this card, but I lost it. And so I had to freeze the card. And so I will not be able to take advantage of that until next month when I get back to mainland and I have them ship me a new one. But regardless, I never budget for money to come in from credit cards, because like in case something happens like this month, like maybe I end up losing the card and then I've thought I was gonna have this money that I don't have. Like I just let credit card money be a little bit of extra income that I have. Maybe like it's a nice gift. Like if your grandma were to send you a card, like maybe you'll get it in the mail this month with some money, maybe you won't. It's okay regardless. All right, expenses. So there's a good amount of red here, but what we are going to do is we're gonna acknowledge this green bar beside groceries. Because if you've been watching my past 2 monthly resets, you know that when I've been in Hawaii, I've spent like almost $1,000 or over $1,000 every single month on groceries, and I just have not been able to crack the code. But this month we are sub 500, which is cause for celebration. I think it's hilarious that as I figure it out, it's literally the month that I'm leaving, but I don't care. I'm happy that this number is under 500. Like I am going to celebrate it. I can't take all the credit. My dad did come up this month and he came to visit for like a week, which was really nice. He was here with me and Devin. We did like lots of little excursions that costed money. But anyways, he was here, and while he was here, he like got dinner for us a lot. He also took us to Costco and got us a couple things from there. But again, 500 is a long way away from 1,000. And so I'm taking some of that credit. Eating out, that's usually mostly Devin's expense category. Like I take on groceries for the most part and then he'll cover eating out. So it never gets too high for me. But every once in a while, like I hit him with the Daddy Warbucks. Like I'm like, oop, we're at McDonald's, $10. Put your wallet away. Daddy Warbucks has got this. And so yeah, like ending with like $42, that's just me being nice and grabbing food a couple of times. That's not a problem at all. Gas, I knew this one was gonna be a little bit more expensive this month. Usually on island, I keep gas under like $100 because I'm in the part of the island that like things are really close together. Everything's about 10 minutes away from itself, from each other. And yeah, gas just has not been that expensive, but I knew that this month gas would be a little bit more. Like I said, my dad came to visit us and we live on the east side of Big Island in a city called Hilo. And it's beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that we lived on this side of the island actually, but it's just not like the big, exciting touristy side. So while my dad was here, we drove him over to a west side of the island. So Kona side. Kona is the bigger, more tourist attractive city in Big Island. And that hour-and-a-half drive back and forth will eat you up. That gas don't come to play. Health and beauty, about 78. I spent about like 50, I want to say, on vitamins, and the other is just me being in charge of like health stuff for the house. So if we need tissues or like medicines, I usually grab that stuff, and Devin has been sick for the past week, so he's the one eating that up. Okay, social. I am actually so excited about this. Look at me and my little $10 social fee. It's been hard to find friends and people out here on Big Island. Usually my go-to for finding new people is Bumble Friends. And I think I just assumed like I'm not really gonna find anybody, but I finally gave it a try last month and I hung out with a girl named Olivia, and we hung out again this month and did trivia night, and it was so much fun. But for the most part, social spending makes me excited because it means that I hopefully had like a fun, meaningful experience and human connection, which I definitely did this month. And then gifts, not too much to report on the gift spend side of things. I went to the farmer's market like earlier this weekend, I think just a couple of days ago. I hadn't been yet, but they've got like little souvenirs there. And I'm finally at that point where I'm like, ooh, I should be thinking about souvenirs to take back home to family. And so I don't have something for everyone, but my little sister had a baby like 3 weeks ago now, and I couldn't resist getting him a bib. Let's see if I have it. Wait a minute. Let me see if I have the bib. Okay, I found the bib. This is what it looks like. It's from HW Designs. Shout out to HW Designs. She said she has like a little website. But the bib says kohola. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it means whale in Hawaiian. And my sister had a baby boy and it was the only blue one, so I thought that that would be cute. I'm excited to share that with him. So yeah, that was my gift spin. I think that was a good purchase. Savings and subs and bills, I will get to those later. They are their own beast with their own boxes right over here. But anyways, doodads. Doodads are essentially just what I call like my treat yourself category. Like anything that I get for me, that's just for me, didn't need it, just wanted it, goes into doodads. What were my doodads this month? Bathing suits. I bought almost like $100. As you can see, I don't know, am I covering this? Here, right here. I bought almost $100 worth of bathing suits this month. And so, yeah, I really built up that little collection. The Target here just has so many options. But whatever, that's where my doodad spend went this month. I'm only like 17 over, but the red bar makes it look scarier than what it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I need a moment because this miscellaneous number right here is just so unfair. I'm so unhappy about it. So we're gonna get into this real quick. I said last month when I had miscellaneous money, I spent $60 on this one thing. And what had happened was I ordered a Sony ZV-1F camera. And after I ordered it, I did some research and I said, no, not enough for me. I want the Sony ZV-E10. I'll send back the Sony ZV-1F. And let me tell you, who knew how hard it was going to be to send back an item that has a lithium ion battery. I didn't know that. And that is leaving Hawaii. Amazon said, you're on your own, sis. We are not going to fund this. So last month I spent $60 in stamps trying to ship this item. Freaking Office Max wouldn't take it. UPS wouldn't take it. And finally this month, USPS said they would take it. And yeah, the thing is that because I paid for it with my Amazon credit card, when Amazon gives me the money back, it'll go to my Amazon credit card. And so like at this point, it's $600 to Amazon regardless. And so family members, Merry Christmas. Like Christmas is coming from Amazon. I think I'll just get everyone a $50 Amazon gift card because I've got $600 invested in Amazon. And that is the story of how my miscellaneous spend got so high. The end. Moving on. Travel PT. I had to pay for my flights back home this month. I'm going back to Virginia. I'm excited to see family, but the way that travel PT works, so they will pay for your flights and like reimburse you to go to a job, like they paid for my Hawaii flight, but getting home, that is on you. That has nothing to do with them. Vacation. Okay, fun part. I don't know if I need to move this up so you can see the vacation spend, but we have $1,703 that was spent on vacation this month. She was a doozy, you know? And I'm here to talk about it. I'm really excited to talk about it actually, because September was an exciting month. So first big vacation expense was Kauai. We went there on a day trip. So I was talking about how we went back and forth to the airport. So we drove an hour and a half to Kona, opposite side of the island, and went to Kauai. But before we went to Kauai, we went to go see the sunrise in Kona, or that is what I thought we were doing. And I was surprised to find a photographer there. And I was surprised to find a picnic made by my lovely now fiance there. And yeah, so Devin proposed and here's my ring. I'm so excited. I love it. It was like the sweetest thing ever. I'm gonna put it on right now. But yeah, that was the first big expense, was going to Kauai. We went to go see the Nepali coast, and that was like the hefty portion of the Kauai trip. If you get a chance to go to Kauai, Nepali coast was beautiful. I 100% want to go again, but it costs a little bit of money. But like, I'm not mad about it. Like, how many times am I going to live in Hawaii? This month, I wasn't mad to make like purchases for big experiences like that. I feel like my life is impacted positively by that, and it's not changing super negatively by losing $1,700. Okay, but anyways, that's the Kauai trip. Also, we're planning a trip to Oahu. So this is my last week working here, like I said, and literally this Friday, when I'm done working, we're flying straight to Oahu. Devin's family is gonna be there. They're coming up to see us and like also celebrate their anniversary, his mom and his stepdad, and then his little brother's gonna be there. Again, don't regret it, like no regrets. September had a lot of purchases, but they were for a good reason. So yeah, that is the vacation spend. My birthday was $42 that I spent on like some little outfit. Irrelevant. But yeah, that is expenses. Let's move on up to subs and bills. Honestly, I don't have a lot to say about subs and bills. I feel like I always spend so much time on expenses because I feel like expenses comprise like they show my month in numbers. Like all the experiences and purchases I made in the month are in expenses. And then I get to subs and bills and it's just boring. I mean, like what was new this month for subs and bills? My car payment was down a little bit. Where does it say car payment? I thought it was gonna be $425, but it was only $212.50. That's positive. It's because I'm only using the car for 2 weeks rather than like the full 4 weeks I usually am. But yeah, that's really the only big subs and bills change. If you are super interested to know more about my subs and bills, let me know and I'll start to spend more time on that. But yeah, I always breeze past it. This month is going to be no exception. Goodbye, good riddance, subs and bills, and on to savings. So I did not hit my savings goal this month. I was hoping, I'll scroll up a little bit. I was hoping to save $3,500 and I only saved $2,250. I just had some things that weren't in the budget. Like the Kauai trip was not at all in the budget. The camera, Amazon, was not all in the budget. And so that's easily like $1,000 right there. That explains why my savings wasn't quite where I wanted them to be. But I will just take a little bit of time to talk to you about what accounts I do have and how I decide where to put my money when I can't save everything that I was hoping to save. So first account is Devin and I's joint account. That is what we are using right now to like save really aggressively into and hopefully buy property here at some point. That account's really important to me because I see it as a way to try to work towards my financial freedom. Like it's really important to me that I don't only have my income be for my 9 to 5. I don't enjoy the 9 to 5 life as much as I like physical therapy. Like 9 to 5 is not for me. And so anything that helps me move further away from that takes precedence. And so that one, I usually try to hit whatever goal I put in for the month. My emergency fund, not at all a priority right now. I feel like where I'm at in my emergency fund right now is good to cover me if I were to have an emergency. So if I have money to put to it, I do. But if I don't, it falls to the bottom of the list. There's my long-term savings account that I used for investments. It's not too different from my Roth IRA that I didn't contribute to this month. And then the other two are my sinking funds. I didn't do vacation sinking fund. I'll get rid of that. But the other two sinking funds that I put into were my time off sinking fund and then my celebration sinking fund. And before I talk about those, let me just give a shout out to the sinking fund queen, Carter Sullivan. Love watching her videos. I also love watching I also love watching Zoe Pritchard and Smiley Citrus. Those are the usual shout outs. Back to the sinking funds. So the celebration sinking fund I'm using right now to try to save for Christmas. Christmas always just comes out of my emergency fund, and I'm really trying to keep like the emergency fund for emergencies as much as I can. And I'm happy with where I am. Time off sinking fund. That one I've gotten up to like 625, I want to say. And that's an important one for me because I use it in the times where I'm not working. And that is my savings for the month. And that is everything for the month. I'll scroll up and show you some of the charts. This one has the cash flow breakdown. That hurts. Savings is only at like a 14.2% for the month. But that being said, that's a great segue into let's reflect on September and try to set some goals moving into October. Usually right now is when I take time to say like, okay, what categories were over budget and how can I get them lower next month? So I clearly had some over budget categories. So I had gas, doodads, miscellaneous, and vacation. When I reflect on those categories, the reasons that they were over budget aren't reasons that I really like need to change moving into October. So gas was just a little bit more than I expected just because I was driving back and forth to the other side of the island. I wouldn't have driven less to that side, you know, like if it meant that I could get my gas bill under budget. Doodads was $17 over budget, so I don't even think that is worth my like energy. Miscellaneous, that was fully because of that Amazon camera. And then vacation, like that was a conscious decision to go over budget. Kauai was not at all in the budget. The trip in all was like 600 or 700, which is about what I was over for vacation spending. And so yeah, like that leaves me with the thought that I kind of want to live October like I lived September spending wise. Like I like what I spent my money on. I was over budget a little bit, but they weren't on like super unreasonable purchases that weren't contributing anything to my life. Like they were life experiences that I will look back on and be so grateful that I did. And so that's how I want to live October. I don't want to just throw my money away at, you know, random things I don't need. But like if I really want to experience something while I'm in Hawaii, I'm going to allow myself to do that. But yeah, now I think I feel ready to move into October. So let's round this thing out and see what October has in store for us. Okay, October. This is going to be an interesting month, but as you can see, October is pretty much a clean slate. I've already put a couple of things in there. I'm going to need my book for this one too, because October is just, it's so new for me. Like I'm not working every single week. I'm going to be, I feel like almost in a different spot every week of October. So the first week of October, I'm still here on Big Island. Next week is like our vacation week in Oahu. And then the other 2 weeks I'll be at home between Richmond, Fredericksburg, Virginia. So yeah, I don't really know what to expect on some fronts of things, but I'm going to try to create a semblance of a plan here. All right, so let's see. What's the first thing I plan for? Oh, income. I only have, let me scroll to income. Oh, well, let me back it up. I'm bringing into the month $504. That's what I ended with last month. And it is finally under what I planned. It's funny that I'm excited that something is under what I planned for. But to explain my start balance, remember I said I like to bring in rent if it's due on the 1st. And then I also like to bring in like my $600 cushion, but I will not have rent due on the 1st in October because I'm taking my tail home. So that's exciting. But yeah, so I'm aiming for about 600, brought in 500, not a huge difference there. All right, income. I am only going to have 2 paychecks this month. And so for the first one, I budgeted for the lowest possible number if I work 36 hours. The next one, I'm really trying to get the Friday off that I'm working this week. And if I do, then it'll be even lower than the 36 hours. So I budgeted for that. Miscellaneous. Oh, that 500 is what Devin's going to send me for the past vacations that we took because his spending was clearly also very high in September. And so I went ahead and like fronted for our vacations. And so he's going to send me his portion in the month of October. So that'll be a nice little bit of income. Then we get our SD. Oh, security deposits for rent and for our car payment for a rental car. I'll change it to say that. For rent, the security deposit was $1,000 that we put in, so we each get half of that back. Rental car. And then for the rental car, we should each be getting 125, but we hit a pothole. We hit a pothole hard, I will say. And that tire was done for. And so I think that the person we're renting for is just going to charge us for the tire after we return the car. He already got us a new one, but just in case he does that, I only want to plan for like a $50 return from that. And then my time off sinking fund, I said I have like $625 in there, but I'm hoping that I only need to take out about $400. And that leaves me with, coming into the month, $4,300, which is a lot of money for someone who's not really working this month. I'll take it. Next, I'll do expenses. So here is where I really am just spitballing. Like, I don't know what groceries are going to cost when I only am buying groceries for like a week here. And then I don't even know if I'll buy anything groceries in Oahu. And then when I go home with family, I'm sure we'll grab some groceries and like cook dinner sometimes, but like I just don't know how much. So I wrote down to budget $300 for groceries and then $250 for eating out, because I think a lot more often we're just going to be buying food. Gas, that's going to be a doozy. I'm just going to go ahead and say $250. I'm going to say $275 just in case. I don't know. Health and beauty, that's going to be another heavy hitter. I'm trying to get my hair done this month. Like get some braids so that I can stop dealing with her. And then if I spend any money on vitamins, then I'll go ahead and put $200 for health and beauty. Social, I'm definitely hoping to visit a lot of my friends back in Virginia once I like go back. And what do you do with friends when you don't like have a home of your own? You guys go out and you do stuff. So I'm just going to budget $50 for social. Gifts, I still have some souvenirs to buy. So I budgeted another $50 for that. Did I not budget anything for doodads? That's ridiculous. It doesn't sit right for me usually to budget like $0 for something. The odds are I will spend something in that category. So I'm going to put $50. Miscellaneous, who knows what will happen. I'll put $50. Travel PT, I already bought my tickets for my plane. Well, I guess that I also still need to pay for luggage. So I'm going to say that I'll spend $150 for luggage just to be safe. And then I also have to pay for luggage for the Oahu trip, and that'll be called vacation. And we also are just trying to budget money for experiences in Oahu. So I'm going to say $400 for vacation. Yikes. Okay. Moving on to subs and bills. I am still budgeting for rent, because if I start my contract on October 28th, like I am hoping for, I'll have rent for this month still. I won't have a car payment anymore because I do not have my rental car. Yeah, everything else should stay the same. I added this little blue highlighted area over here for the month. It's showing what my budgeted ending balance will be. Usually I just have my actual ending balance, but just so I could try to plan for the month a little bit better. So I have $800. And I'm going to want to end the month with like $500 or $600. So that doesn't leave too much to put into savings. I think I'll make it $250 for joint account and then $50 for my long-term investment account. And just not going to be contributing to my time off sinking fund. That's the one I'm using. I'm not going to be contributing to Celebration. I have a good amount in there. And then also I have all that Amazon money that I can use for Celebration. So yeah, I think that is where I'm going to end off October. And this should be interesting. We will see how it goes. So yeah, I am like nervously closing that laptop because I've never finished a monthly reset with so much uncertainty left over. Like usually I'm like, oh yay, my life is together. Like at least I have a semblance of a plan for October, but the truth is so much of that is unknown. So thank you for being here with me and for going over my budget with me. Please share if you have like any amazing September monthly like money goals that you hit, or if you're excited for anything in October money wise, because I need some good news. I'm a little bit stressed heading into October. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very, very soon in another video.